The first time I took a plane was to come to Singapore. I was so nervous but excited. Today, I'm with two friends that I got to know at our employment agency's boarding house. We are on our way to the office of the agent. During the car ride, we shared with each other our personal lives and how things were for us back home, since we came from different provinces. Things in Singapore look different and everything seems newer, brighter, and more exciting here. No wonder some of my friends who had come here to work in the past now lead better lives. Those who had worked in Singapore before also told me that this is a peaceful country with the people coming from different cultural backgrounds and races. Everybody respects one another in Singapore. That's why when my mother got sick, I decided to come to this country to be a domestic worker so that I can earn more money for my family in what I think will be a safe and positive environment. But I couldn't start work immediately. When I signed up for the job, my agent told me I had to go for some training first and wait for the paperwork to be completed. I realized it was not so easy to be able to work in Singapore. Many girls were not approved because they did not have at least 8 years of schooling, but I had. Because they are desperate to leave, some of them lie about being 23 years old and their education levels. I was happy that I met all the requirements. I was told about the family I was going to live with. There were 4 people: Ma'am, Sir, their daughter Clara, and Ma'am's mother, Auntie May. Ma'am told me Auntie May was 67 years old and could not speak much English. She also needed to take medicines at different times of the day. Ma'am told me to be patient and understanding towards Auntie May. On the first day, Sir and Ma'am looked through all my papers and explained everything to me. They told me which day I would get my salary, how much was my salary, how long was my loan period, my off days, and the work I had to do in the house. They also informed me on their house rules, which I found very useful. They showed me the house, their rooms, how to use their kitchen, their utensils, the cleaning tools, and where I sleep. They are nice and answer all my questions. I sensed they wanted me to feel at ease as I will be part of the family. I also realized that my employers are from a different cultural background from mine and have their own habits. So, I have to take time to understand them. I'm glad they are patient and I hope to meet their expectations. It had been a long day. I was very tired. Sir and Ma'am gave me a room and a comfortable bed to sleep in. I could not sleep. I closed my eyes and kept thinking about my family back home. I brought some photographs of them with me. I looked at them until I fell asleep. Sir, Ma'am, and Clara leave home at 6:30 a.m. in the morning for work and school. So, I wake up at 5:30 a.m. to get ready and prepare breakfast for them. Back home, I sleep until 10 a.m. sometimes, but I cannot do that here. Ma'am is kind. She talks to me with care and reminds me to tell Auntie May to take her medication. She also handed me a piece of paper that stated what times Auntie May had to take her different medicines. I am thankful for the written instructions so that I do not forget. Before I came to Singapore, I've never seen so many high buildings. The house was on the 15th floor. When I looked down from the window, I felt dizzy. Auntie May saw that I was scared and slowly told me how to hang clothes outside carefully. She also warned me to never stand on a stool while hanging out clothes or cleaning the windows, as it is not safe. Clara comes back from school at 2 p.m. I complete the household chores. I sweep, mop, do the laundry before I prepare dinner. Auntie May teaches me new dishes and guides me on how to cook for the family. I decided to make a dessert dish. It's something that I've liked eating since young, and I hope that my new family will like it too. Sir and Ma'am reach home at 6:30 p.m. and the family has dinner together. I wait for them to finish eating the main meal, then serve them the dessert. I'm happy when they are happy. I got a call from my mother, informing me that my sister had got into an accident and is undergoing surgery to fix her broken arm. Before that call, I've never felt so far away from my family, my whole life. I felt helpless, not being there by their side. The next morning, I was unable to concentrate on my work, thinking of my sister. Auntie May asked me for a cup of coffee. While making the coffee, I spilled the boiling water and scalded myself. I was in a lot of pain. Auntie May immediately drags me to the tap and places my hand under running water. She tells me that we have to go and see the doctor. I was very worried. My family is not financially stable. My sister had just undergone treatment, and now I have to spend money on my treatment as well. Auntie May told me that this requires immediate medical attention and not to worry about the bill. It is the duty of my employer to foot the medical bills. As reassuring as it was, I felt sad, as my employers were incurring additional expenses because of my carelessness. I was resting in my room after taking medication. Ma'am came into my room and asked what happened and why I was upset in the morning. I told her about my sister and apologized for being careless. Ma'am didn't scold me. Instead, she said that I needed to be well, to be able to take care of my family. She also mentioned that if I needed someone to talk to, I could reach out to the Center for Domestic Employees at any time of the day for advice and support. I agreed to speak to a CDE officer. Ma'am called the 24-hour helpline. An officer spoke to me, guiding me on how to deal with homesickness and issues back at home. Thanks to CDE and my employers, I felt much better. I also realized that mutual open communication with my employers is very important. After a couple of months, my hand got better, my sister recovered, and I had nothing more to worry about. I realized that every problem has a solution, only if I voice it out to someone who can help. I'm very thankful for my employers and CDE. I was folding the clothes when Ma'am came into the room. Ma'am gave me my first salary. She asked if I knew about the POSB payroll account for FDWs, and I said no. She said that CDE can help me submit the application for this account. If I have this, Ma'am can transfer my salary into it on a fixed day. It will help prevent misunderstandings because every payment will be recorded. She told me I have the right to ask for this. I said I will think about it. Right now, I was more excited about my first off day. I called Annabella and Judy, asking them where we could go and what we could do. We decided to meet at the beach. I couldn't wait. On my first rest day, I went to meet Annabella and Judy. This is the first time I had to travel alone in Singapore. I was quite nervous. Ma'am brought me to the bus stop near the house and gave me an EZ-Link card to use to pay the fare. She told me there was $9 left inside and I could top it up later. Ma'am also handed me a list of numbers to call in case of emergencies. She reminded me to be careful and alert the authorities if I happened to see anything suspicious. We went to the beach. It was so breathtaking. The calming sound of waves crashing, the soft sand beneath our feet, and the strong, cool breeze lifting us up. I just stood there with my eyes closed for a moment. It felt so good. We found a place to sit. We shared our work experiences, a little bit about our employers, and our memories of home. It felt so good speaking to friends from home, and that too, in person. We all had fairly similar experiences. While we were chatting, one girl came along and asked if it was our first time in Singapore and if she could join us. She was Elizabeth. We got along well and we learned that she has already been working here for some time. She mentioned that she was waiting for her friend, Magdalene. A few hours later, Magdalene arrived. She looked very exhausted. We learned that she has been working at another household on her off days ever since she completed her loan period, as her employer has not paid her for the past 3 months. I know that it is not right for us to work at another place other than our employer's house. So, I offered Magdalene to contact CDE. I dialed the 24-hour hotline and Magdalene spoke to the CDE officer. After the call ended, she appeared relieved that the CDE officer has advised that if her employer still continues to owe her salary, she can report to the Ministry of Manpower. The officer also told her to stop working at the other place immediately because it is illegal. I'm glad to have helped her. It's important we work together to solve problems correctly. A few days later, Ma'am and I were walking to the shop to buy some groceries for lunch. We noticed a man carrying a big bag walking around suspiciously. He quickly walked away as we passed by. As we were returning home from the shop, I saw that same bag hidden near the seats at the playground. I panicked and quickly alerted Ma'am. We decided not to touch it. I decided to call the police immediately to report the issue. That evening, when I was finishing my chores for the day, Auntie May called out to us and asked us to watch the television. The news had special mention on what we saw earlier. It turned out that the bag contained some tools which could be used to break into houses. The news reporter also informed the public to be alert at all times and to immediately call the police if we see anything suspicious. Ma'am commended me for being alert and told me she was proud of me as I played a part in keeping our neighborhood safe by reporting this issue. I realized that, at times, we as foreigners living in Singapore also need to step up to make this country our home. We have a right to be safe and secure too.